Hello friends, my name is Joydeep Burman. In this video, we will learn about standard subdivision of DDC, how to use the standard subdivision to make class number, and what is standard subdivision. Side by side, we will know all things about standard subdivision. Okay, so let's start the video. Standard subdivision is also one type of notation. We know in DDC there are 10 main classes, and these 10 main classes, and each and every main classes is divided into 10 subdivision, and every subdivision is also divided into 10 subdivision. So these all notation, main class and their subdivision, these are the notation of schedule, and we can call it the all main class. Main class means the subdivision of main class and side by side the main class. I will explain it with example. If mathematics, the notation of mathematics 50, and every subdivision of mathematics we can say it as a main class. Okay, main class means main class and their subdivision. So this is a one type of notation, and in DDC there are some type of notation. These are common to for all main classes. I will explain it with an example so that you can easily understand. Suppose there is in a library, suppose the term dictionary, we can use the term dictionary with the many of the main classes. In a library there may be a dictionary for mathematical terms, there may be a dictionary for English language, there may be a dictionary for geographical term, there may be a dictionary for historical term, there may be a dictionary for political science. Here mathematics, political science, history, geography, all are the main classes, and these notation are enumerated in the schedule. But here the term dictionary, this notation is a common notation for all the main classes, and this notation is enumerated in DDC in table. In DDC there are 7 tables, and standard subdivision is a one kind of table. This notation is enumerated in the table 1. Okay. So there are 7 types of common notations for the all main classes, and out of these 7 type of common notation, standard subdivision is one of them. Okay. I will explain it with another example. If the term India, we can use the term India with the main class geography. We can say this book is for Indian geography. We can say that this book is for Indian politics. We can say that this book is for Indian history. Here India is the term, and we can use the term India with the many of the main classes. So India is a common term, and this is also a common notation. This is another type of common notation, and it is we know India is a place, and this place common notation, all places are one type of common notation. India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all places, West Bengal, all places is a one type of common notation. We can use these places with the each and every main classes. So this is another type of common notation, and it is enumerated in the table 2. So the notation of standard subdivision is a one type of common notation, and it is enumerated in the table 1, and it is called as a standard subdivision. Okay. I hope you will understand. I hope you understand what is standard subdivision, and now we will learn how to use the standard subdivision with the main classes. I have written some basic rules of standard subdivision, how to use standard subdivision. First of one, notation of SS. SS means standard subdivision can be added to any notation of main classes. the notation of standard subdivision I have told it earlier. Another notation of standard subdivision, we can add the notation of standard subdivision to the all of the main classes whenever it is needed. Okay, we can add it with the all of the notation of main classes. Main class and their main class means main class and their subdivision also. Okay, and second, SS can be added. SS means standard subdivision can be added without instruction or with instruction. Sometimes in the schedule under the main class there will be instruction to use the standard subdivision, and most of the times there will not any instruction. There will not be any instruction to use the standard subdivision. We know that we can use the standard subdivision without instruction. In the DDC, this notation is the only notation. This notation means the standard subdivision. The notation of standard subdivision is the only notation. We can use this notation without instruction. Only this standard subdivision we can use without instruction. Sometimes we will get the instruction to use, most of the time we will not get the instruction, but we can use it. We cannot use any other notation to the main classes without instruction, but we can use the notation of standard subdivision only the notation of standard subdivision without instruction. Sometimes in the schedule there will be instruction, sometimes there will not be instruction, but without instruction we can easily use it with the notation of standard subdivision. This is the this is another rule. And the third one is standard subdivision must be used with the notation of MC. It is most important. MC means main class. Main class means the main class and their subdivision, all subdivision, that means the all schedule, the notation of all schedule. After we can only use the notation of standard subdivision after the notation of main classes or notation of the subdivision of the main classes. Without the notation of the main classes or the subdivision of the main classes, we cannot use the notation of standard subdivision alone. We cannot use the notation of standard subdivision alone. Always we have to use the notation of standard subdivision with the main class, after the main classes. After the main classes, after the notation of main classes or the subdivision of the main class, of the notation of the subdivision of the main classes. Here whenever I will say the main class, you have to understand it. Main class means the all main classes and their subdivision. Okay, I do not repeat it. Okay. So without the notation of main class, we cannot use the notation of standard subdivision. This is the third rules. Okay. Now we will do practice of using the notation of standard subdivision. Here I will show you before practicing. Here we know the this is the notation of the main schedule. I have taken a screenshot of the main schedule of 500 pure science. This notation of the main schedule you know that, but I will show the notation of how the notation of standard subdivision. Notation of here it is written here table 1 standard subdivision. Okay, this notation is enumerated in table 1. Okay, and you can see here every notation. I will say one thing, that the notation of standard subdivision is started from -01 and ends with -09. Okay, I have taken a screenshot of here. From here it is not started. Before this notation, here you can see 0 to before this notation there is already some notation. I have taken just a single page of the table 1. So in this page it is started with dash 0 2, but in the table 1 you can find that the notation is started from dash 0 1 and ends with dash 0 9. Okay. So there is a characteristic of one characteristic of the notation. This characteristic is, before the every notation you can find a 0, and before 0 here you can see that before 0 of the every notation you can find a dash. Here dash indicates that you cannot use the standard subdivision alone. Here dash means before the notation of standard subdivision there is something, some notation, another notation. After this notation you can use the notation. That is why there is dash. This dash indicates that there is some another notations. After this notation we can use the standard notation of standard subdivision. But here 0 is the actually this 0, every notation you will see that there is a single 0. This 0 is actually the connecting symbol, connecting digit between the main class and the notation of standard subdivision. It is already given here 0, but actually this 0 is for the connecting digit. 0 is connecting digit, is a single 0. Okay. Now we will do practice and we will understand it clearly. Okay. A dictionary of scientific terms. Here is a dictionary of scientific terms. Scientific terms means dictionary of science. There is a dictionary based on scientific terms or science. Okay. The class number will be, I have written the analysis. Science is a main class and the notation of the science is 500. I have written 500 and in a square bracket I have written main class. It is a main class also, and after equal sign I have written pure science or science. You can written here pure science or science. Okay. Now in the schedule there is not the notation of dictionary. You cannot find the notation of dictionary in the schedule. I have taken the notation of dictionary from the standard subdivision SS standard subdivision. That is why I have written dash 03 in square bracket. I have written SS means standard subdivision and equal dictionary. I will show you here. You can see here dash 03 is for dictionary, encyclopedia, concordance. We can use the notation dash 03 as for the dictionary, side by side for the encyclopedia also, side by side for the concordance also. So in our case this document is this is a dictionary, so I have written here only dictionary. So our synthesis will be 500 plus 03. Now there is an interesting thing. The notation of the main class and the notation of the main class means the main class, there may be main class or maybe the subdivision of main class. Here is the 500 is, we know it is main class, and sometimes here will be the subdivision of main class. Sometimes main class means all the notation we here call them main class. Okay. Here the main class ends with 2 digits. 2 digit means 2 zeros. Here the main class ends with 2 zeros. Okay. Whenever the main class ends with zeros, and if we have to use the notation of standard subdivision, we will remove those zeros from the main classes. Here there are 2 zeros at the end of the main classes, end of the, not middle of the main classes, at the end of the. Here at the end of the main classes there are 2 zeros. That is why, but at the end of the main class there are 2 zeros, and I used I used here the notation of standard subdivision after the main classes. That is why this is the rules. That is why I have to remove the zeros from the end of the main classes. Here there are 2 zeros, I have removed 2 zeros from here. So, I have taken 5 and 03, 03 for dictionary. Okay. Here you can see 500 for pure science, and there is no instruction to use the standard subdivision. Whenever we will not find whenever there will not be any instruction under the main classes, under the subdivision of the main classes, but we have to use the standard subdivision. Generally we will follow these rules. We will only use the one single zero in between the notation of main class and the notation of standard subdivision. I have said earlier, this zero in every digit you will find the in every notation you will find it starts with a 0. This 0 is only for the connecting digit. Here that is why there is no instruction to use the standard subdivision. That is why in this case I have taken only 0 for connecting symbol, main class and main. Already in the main classes there are 2 0, the main class ends with 2 zeros, but I have removed 2 zeros. Whenever we uses with standard subdivision after the main classes and the main classes ends with a single 0 or sometimes it may be 2 zeros. Here in our case here after the main classes there are 2 zeros, we have to remove the zeros. If there are 2 0, we have to remove the 2 zeros. If there are 1 0, we have to remove the 0. If there is no 0, then we do not remove any digit at the end of the main classes. Okay. Now I will show another example so that it will be clear for you. Sorry, this is another example. This is the same dictionary, but this dictionary for mathematical terms. It is for scientific terms, it is for mathematical. We know mathematics is part of science. So I have written 500 and square bracket main class, it is main class, 500 is main class, and I have forgotten to write the it is the 500 is for the notation pure science or science. I have forgotten to write pure science or science. So under 500 in 510 you will find the notation for mathematics, 510 for mathematics. This notation is for mathematics, and here you can see 510 mathematics. Here is also no instruction to use under 510. Here is also there is also no instruction to use the standard standard subdivision. So, but we know that without instruction we can use the standard subdivision if we need it. Here we need the notation of dictionary, so we can take it from the table 1 dictionary. So I have taken the notation 03 from standard subdivision. I have written it is for dictionary, and synthesis and synthesis I have written 03 in square bracket SS means standard subdivision equal 0 sign, and synthesis will be 510 plus 03 for dictionary and 510 for mathematics. But in this case the main class means the subdivision of main class or the subdivision of main classes ends with a single 0. So I have told it earlier, if the main class or the subdivision of main class ends with 0 or zeros, 0 means 1 0 or zeros means 2 0. We have to and after that, if we have to use the notation of standard subdivision, we have to remove the 0 from the main class or from the subdivision of the main class. Here the mathematics is the subdivision of 500 and the notation ends with a single 0, and after the notation we have used here the notation of standard subdivision, that is dictionary. So generally we will remove the 0 from the end of the main classes or subdivision of the main classes. I have removed here removed the 0 from the 510. I have taken 51 from the 510, and after that I have taken 0 from the 03, and after that I have given dot, because this is the rules of DDC. After 3 digits you have to put the dot, and after that I have written here the digit 3. Okay. So in this case this notation ends with single 0, that is why I have removed the 1 0 only. In previous case this notation ends with 2 zeros, that is why I have removed removed from here 2 zeros. Okay. Now in this case, dictionary of arithmetical terms. We know arithmetics is part of mathematics. So our analysis will be 500 pure science, 510 mathematics, and 513 arithmetics. And here also is under mathematics there also no instruction to use the standard subdivision. So and this notation is not ends with 0, it ends with 3 digit. So we have we will not remove any digit. We will not remove any digit from the main classes. I have okay, I have taken 513 for arithmetic and 03 for dictionary. Dictionary it is taken from SS, means standard subdivision, and synthesis 513 plus dash 03. It is not minus 03, it is dash 03, because in standard subdivision before every notation you will find a dash, that is why I have written in the synthesis dash 03. And in the class number I have written 513 for the arithmetic and 03 for dictionary. Here I have not removed any digit because there is no 0 at the end of the main classes. Okay. This is the basic rule. Is there is no instruction under the main class or subdivision of the main class, always we will use one digit to connecting the notation of main class or subdivision of main class or the notation of standard subdivision. This is the basic rule. Okay. Now these rules have some exceptions. Here is the exception. Dictionary of algebraic terms. Algebraic is a part of mathematics, we know, and mathematics is part of science. So I have written here 500 main class pure science, 510 for mathematics, and under mathematics in 512, in this case 513 is for arithmetic and 512 for algebra. But in algebra I will show you, in algebra here is the instruction to use the standard subdivision. Here is the instruction to use the how we will use standard subdivision for the notation of algebra. Here is written here, use 512.001 dash 512.009 for standard subdivision. I have said earlier standard subdivision notation is started from 01 and ends with 09, and here it is instructed that if we have to use the notation of standard subdivision from the 0 1 to 0 9, we have to use 0 1 dash 009. That means if we need to use the notation of standard subdivision from the 0 1 to 0 9, we will use is at 001 to 009. Okay, that means we have to use an extra 0. It indicates that whenever we will use the standard subdivision after algebra, only for algebra, this rules is for only for algebra, because this instruction is under algebra. So we will use an extra 0. We know the notation of standard subdivision start with a single 0, but whenever we use the notation of standard subdivision after the algebra, we will use an extra 0, because there is the instruction. Okay. So we know the notation of dictionary. In our example, it is dictionary of algebraic terms. So we do know the notation of dictionary in table 1, it is under dash 03, and dash 03 is in between dash 01 to dash 09. So if we use the notation of dictionary, we have to follow this rule, because this dictionary is in between dash 01 to dash 09. Okay. So that's why in these cases I have written here the instruction in yellow inks, and I have used 003, not 03 only. Okay. 03 for standard subdivision, and I have written dictionary, and synthesis 512 for algebraic plus dash 003 for dictionary, and the class number will be 512.003. So this is the rules. Whenever you will not find any instruction, but if you have to use the notation of standard subdivision after the main class or subdivision of main classes, you will use only one digit. Whenever you will not find any instruction under the main classes or the subdivision of main classes, but if there is instruction to how to use the standard subdivision, so you have to follow this instruction. In our case, there was instruction to use the standard subdivision with an extra 0. That's why I have written here extra 0. But in this case, there was no instruction, but I have removed the 0, because this is the basic rule. Always we have to use a single 0 in between the notation of main class and in between the notation of standard subdivision. That's why I have removed here without instruction, because this is the basic rules. This is the basic rule. Always we have to use a single 0 between the notation of main class and notation of standard subdivision. So this is the basic, you have to mind it. I repeat the whole today's class, so that you can easily you can easily understand it, so your doubts will be clear. Whenever our main class or the subdivision of main class ends with 0, not the middle of the notation, ends with 0, with a single 0 or maybe sometimes 2 0, and there is no instruction to use the standard subdivision. How to use the standard subdivision? Generally we will remove the zeros from the notation of the main classes, and after that we will use the notation of standard subdivision. But if there is instruction to use the standard subdivision, how to use how we use the standard subdivision notation, then you have to follow this instruction. Okay, I hope you have understood it, today's topic, and I in this video ends here. And if this video is helpful for you, so I tell you, please subscribe my channel and like the video, and share this video to all of your friend circle who are belongs to in the department of librarians and who is doing BLIS. So this video will be beneficial for them also. So and so take care, bye bye.